Hi everyone, I'm Puyan Taglianetti, the Visitor Services and Education Coordinator here at Snug Harbor Cultural Center and Botanical Garden.
Hi, I'm Andrea Stewart, the Volunteer Service Coordinator at Snug Harbor.
Snug Harbor is an 83-acre campus with 12 botanical gardens, a New York Chinese Scholars Garden, a heritage farm, our Newhouse Contemporary Arts Gallery, museums, wetlands, and so much more. We would not be able to maintain the grounds or provide the dynamic programming that our community has come to expect from us without the help of wonderful people such as yourself. Snug Harbor has a depth of expertise for productive land management, and your personal garden or your knowledge base can benefit through skill sharing with our staff.
Now you may ask yourself, how do I get involved or find out more information? First, we ask that you visit our website at snug-harbor.org and fill out a volunteer form. You can also email engagement@snug-harbor.org with any questions or concerns. There are numerous departments you can be involved with, such as Heritage Farm, assist with harvesting plants, weeding, and prepping soil, horticulture, planting bulbs, weeding, helping with one of our various gardens, such as the Rose Garden, helping with invasive species management. You can help with our compost department with our green market and helping to weigh our compost. You can help with education with our virtual research projects, our presentations, and supporting small group tours on our grounds. Also with the wetlands, removing invasive species and monitoring their conditions.
I'm Greg Lord, Director of Horticulture at Snug Harbor Cultural Center and Botanical Garden. The Horticulture Department maintains 12 gardens and 2 plant collections on our 80 acres here. With a full-time staff of 7 gardeners, we cannot maintain the grounds without the help of volunteers. We have volunteer opportunities for individuals and for community groups. The greenhouse is where our volunteers plant seeds, transplant seedlings, and take cuttings of tender perennials such as coleus and lantana to overwinter for spring planting or to sell at the spring plant sale. We are also exploring ways to open the greenhouse to the public in the future, and would like to have volunteers stationed at the greenhouse to answer questions from the public about the site and what's growing in the greenhouse. This is an opportunity for individuals to learn tropical and subtropical plants that we maintain in the greenhouse, along with learning about what is being propagated. We are always looking for new ways to reach out into the community and see how we can support community groups, either through our many workshops and tours of the grounds or custom growing plants for your community garden through our annual plant sale. We also work with individuals that require work experience and skills needed to gain admittance into horticultural training programs. The material you see here on the benches have been produced by 2 of our volunteers and will be planted out this spring or sold at our annual plant sale. I'm standing in front of the Carl Grillo Glass House, which is located in the perennial garden. This is the site of our annual spring plant sale. This year it's on May 7th for members only, and on May 8th it's open to the public.
Hello, my name is Martin McCormick. I'm a horticulturalist here at Snug Harbor, and this is the Healing Garden. It was opened in 2008 and it commemorates the 267 Staten Islanders who died during 9/11. The paths meander through forests and meadows and perennial plantings, and we do expand the perennial plantings to increase the diversity of the plants here, and that's something that we always get volunteers to come and help us install and maintain. And it is also the place where we're trying out new ecological methods of maintenance. For example, we keep the seed heads on the plants. We don't cut them down, just to provide food throughout the winter for wildlife. Unfortunately, deer have become an increased presence in the park over the last few years, so we have been building barriers, and it's a good opportunity for volunteers to help us build barriers to separate the deer and the plantings. And another problem we have is a Ampelopsis vine. It can quickly cover a tree, and actually the whole planting would be covered in Ampelopsis if we didn't have volunteers to come and help us take it down. And that's something that can happen at any time of the year. The moats are a fun, spooky, and historical feature of these old buildings. And weeds grow in between the bricks, and they need to be weeded periodically, usually by volunteers. Hi, this is Ezra, the farm manager here at the Heritage Farm at Snug Harbor. I want to welcome you. We've got so many exciting things happening on campus and on the farm this year that I'm just glad that you're here and we can tell you a little bit about them. As the COVID pandemic continues to, wreak havoc on our food systems and our communities and our economy, the Heritage Farm is here to be a community anchor for that. And I want to talk to you about the opportunities how you can be involved, how you can support us, and how we can support you. Access to fresh produce and clean food is a human right. And so at the Heritage Farm, one of the largest farms in New York City, we want to be able to supply that to our immediate neighbors. We are 2.5 acres here. We grow using organic techniques and sustainable techniques. And, our main focus is getting the produce to people who live within our community. How we do that is through our CSA, our Community Supported Agriculture. That's a membership program where people buy in the beginning of the season, and then they're able to come throughout the growing season every week and pick up a fresh bag of produce. That was extremely successful last year. We're only expanding it this year, allowing for more opportunities. We accept SNAP and EBT. We allow payment plans. And we're also allowing people who feel that they are comfortable to be able to sponsor somebody else so that food is accessible to all community members, regardless of income and other barriers. Another thing that I'm really excited about is that we are going to have 2 farm stands this year. So on Thursday nights with our CSA pickup, whether you're a member or not, you can come to the grounds, you can come find us, you can buy our fresh produce, meet us, see what we're up to, and then you can also come on Saturdays to Snug Harbor and buy fresh produce for the week, and we're really excited about those 2 opportunities. The CSA runs from June to October, but our farm stands will be from May to November. So on Saturdays, you'll be able to come from beginning of May to mid to end November, depending on weather, and pick up produce from the Heritage Farm, which I'm really excited about. Sierra's going to chat in a second about some volunteer opportunities, but again, this is a community farm. This is something that we want to bring to the people and have produce be available to our neighbors and our community. And so there are a lot of opportunities with programming, tours, classes, workshops, and volunteerism that can make this farm feel like it's working for the community and with the community. We're really excited that you're here. I know there's a one sheet that's coming out with all this information again, and here's Sierra to tell you a little bit more about how you can volunteer and get your hands dirty here on the Heritage Farm.
Hello guys, my name is Sierra Crawford, and I am the farm training coordinator here at Snug Harbor Heritage Farm. Just to give you guys a little bit of background into my life, I was not born in Staten Island, but I was raised here since the age of 7 years old. And the reason why I got involved with the Heritage Farm is because once the pandemic hit, I realized that there's a possibility for a food shortage. So I decided to just get involved in farming, get involved in agriculture, just to learn more about the process of growing my own food. And Snug Harbor and Heritage Farm provided me with that opportunity. So, a little bit of my role here, just to give you a little bit of background of my role here is to basically inform the volunteers of what the task will be while we are on the farm. So I take the information that we get while I'm doing hands-on experience in the farm. I take that, I write down the procedures, and we put that into a manual. And so when volunteers come and on board here, we give them the manual so that way they know how to harvest, they know how to water or irrigate, they know how to prepare soil, they know how to prep poly houses, things of that nature. So just to give you guys a little bit of more background into what we do here at Heritage Farm. Grow crops here, as you guys can see. It is the winter time, so it is hard to see a little bit some of the crops and stuff. But if you look in the far to my right, it's a high tunnel over there, and inside we have some kale, we got some mustard greens, just a little bit of stuff that we are growing during the winter season. But that's not to say that there's no more opportunity. In the spring, we will have opportunity to have volunteers. You guys, if you guys are interested, come on board and just check it out. Do a couple of different events with us, and you guys will love it.
Hey, my name is Michael. I've been an intern at Snug Harbor Heritage Farm for a few months now. I really enjoyed my experience here. We harvest crops, we wash the crops, we planted. We also did a lot of digging and a lot of soiling. I actually think if anyone wants to join, I think it's a great opportunity for students or, anyone really to be a part of this community. I really enjoyed my experience. I think you will enjoy it too. And I just hope you guys come along.
Reclaim Seed is a collective working toward community-based seed justice and food sovereignty. This year, Snug Harbor's Heritage Farm will be acting as an outpost of Reclaim Seed in Staten Island. Based out of the King Manor Museum in Queens, Reclaim Seed acts as an heirloom seed library. You can check out up to 6 varieties of seeds from the library with the expectation that you will return twice the amount of seeds that you took. If you cannot get to Queens, you can work through Snug Harbor to access the library. Keep an eye out for workshops coming up this year to learn how to save, store, and use your seeds.
New York City Compost Project, hosted by Snug Harbor, works with DSNY's Bureau of Recycling and Sanitation to advocate for organics diversion from the waste stream and improve soil health. We have a food scrap drop-off, so come on and bring us your food scraps. All those organics make healthy soil. We host drop-offs at the compost demonstration site at Snug Harbor on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and at the St. George Green Market on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. To learn where else you can drop off your food scraps, please visit DSNY's Food Scrap and Drop-Off page. We also serve as a community garden resource. If you're a community gardener, the New York City Compost Project can facilitate access to DSNY's resources like compost, wood chips, and composting tools. If you're able to compost at your own garden, we need to know. We bring resources which can support community garden work, especially around composting. Let us know what's happening in your garden, and we'll let you know how we can help. Please check in with us at compost@snugharbor.org.
You see here the St. George Green Market, a center of the North Shore community spanning 2 decades. Now that the New York City Compost Project, hosted by Snug Harbor, is back at the St. George Green Market, we need community support in welcoming Staten Islanders' food scraps. We hope some early birds will join us at 7:30 a.m. on Saturdays at the Green Market. This volunteer shift can be just an hour to help set us up, or a few hours to hang out and enjoy the market, then break down in the early afternoon.
Tell me a little bit about Green Thumb and your role in the program.
Yeah. So I'm Anthony Ryder. My role at Green Thumb is Senior Outreach Coordinator. I specifically work with gardens in Lower Manhattan and Staten Island. And so NYC Parks Green Thumb is the nation's largest urban gardening program. We assist over 550 community gardens and over 20,000 volunteer gardeners throughout New York City on 100 acres of open space. My role as an outreach coordinator at Green Thumb is to kind of be that first point of contact for community gardeners and the general public to gardening in New York City. So I spend a lot of time providing technical assistance to community gardeners who are working on group development, bylaws, group governance, outreach, all that kind of stuff.
So, Anthony, you mentioned technical support and some resources. So, I wanted to kind of tap into that. And could you just tell me, it seems like you work with a lot of different spaces and a lot of different experienced gardeners or established gardens. How might that technical support differ from like larger gardens, smaller gardens, or even for new gardeners throughout the city?
Yeah. So kind of our basic material assistance to community gardens that are registered with Green Thumb is basically we can provide them soil, compost, wood chips, lumber. So sometimes we're working with garden groups that are kind of restarting after a group has kind of like fizzled out over the years, or we're working with a brand new garden. In those cases, we provide them much more support. You know, I will help them build a group governance structure that makes sense for their garden group. I will work with our operations team to provide them the materials that they need to get started. We'll plan work days to build out the space. And then for gardens that are kind of like up and running and are doing pretty well, we just provide them whatever material support we can when, you know, they need more wood chips to cover their paths at the end of the year. They need to rebuild some raised beds that have fallen into disrepair. We'll provide them the lumber they need to do that. Yeah, so that's kind of like the general material support we provide garden groups.
Is super important to really connect those pieces and make sure that everybody participating understands how we're working together and understands where they can get all of these resources, especially if they're interested in starting anew or restarting. We've all had a really hard year. Just thank you. Thank you for sharing everything that you have been. But if I wanted to connect with a Green Thumb garden or participate in this anymore, how would I learn more? Is there a website I can go to or a media page that I could connect and learn more about this?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's really what the outreach coordinators at Green Thumb are trying to focus on this year is really getting more New Yorkers engaged in community gardens in New York City. So you can find more information on our website, which is greenthumbnyc.org. We're also on Instagram, we're on Facebook. I think you can pretty much just search Green Thumb NYC and you can pretty easily find our social media pages. We're also on Twitter. Actually on Wednesday, February 17th, we're holding a webinar called How to Join a Community Garden, where it'll be a panel of community gardeners that will talk about the different ways people join community gardens in New York City. So since every community garden in New York City is kind of its like own independent thing, they all have their own governance structures, their own like focuses as spaces as well. So I think it's really important for New Yorkers to learn more about the many different ways joining a garden can take. You know, for some gardens, it's just, you're just a volunteer and you come a couple hours a month every year and you have access to the garden and you help like maintain the space. Others, you get individual plots. Others, you're growing food for the community in a communal setting. It all kind of depends on the group. And so I think that workshop is a really great place to learn more. You can sign up for it on our website. There's an Eventbrite to RSVP for it and join. And then the last week of February, we've turned our annual Green Thumb Grow Together conference into a week-long series of workshops. And there will be more information on our website pretty soon about how to sign up for all of those workshops as well. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, all of our webinars are open to the public. You don't have to be a member of a community garden to go to any of them, and they run the gamut. You know, I kind of always think of community gardens as just like natural, sustainable spaces, you know, in multiple ways, not just environmental. You know, they're supporting their neighborhoods and bringing people together in spaces and bringing people together in like beautiful green spaces that are maintained by the people in that neighborhood. I think, you know, kind of helps support the development of neighborhoods just overall.
We definitely wanted to capture a lot of your resources and what you're doing in the community with Green Thumb, to make sure that you're a part of this. I don't know, Suzanne, if you wanted to close us out or if you have anything else to add.
No, just thank you. Looking forward to a really wonderful growing season. And I think it's an important time for people to be getting back into the land. And I think what Green Thumb does to support that on a community level is really important for us all to remain connected. So thanks for your time, and thanks to Green Thumb.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to working together more this year.
Snug Harbor welcomes anyone and everyone to get inspired and grow. We have so many ways that you can get involved here and bring that knowledge back to your own garden. Come once or come regularly, any involvement is welcome. We work with groups coming for a team building day, those fulfilling community service hours, or those individuals looking to contribute to the greater good. Here's a review of where we would need you. Food scrap acceptance at St. George Green Market, Saturdays between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. CSA Market, Thursdays 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Farming, Mondays through Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Produce preparation, Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Steward a particular garden on our site, like the Rose Garden or the White Garden, Mondays through Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Support our visitor services on the grounds, weekends, 10 a.m. to dusk. Special events support to be a part of our public programs. Once you submitted your application, we will contact you to find out more information regarding your interests and skill levels, provide you with our registration packet and current volunteer opportunities.
You not only volunteer your time and your efforts, but you also bring your insight and enthusiasm. We hope everyone comes to Snug Harbor and gets involved with volunteering. This is your opportunity to foster deeper community involvement, build connections with your neighbors, and expand your social network.
That you guys are excited about it, and I hope you guys come on board with us. Thanks.
We hope to see you here at Snug Harbor. To learn more about volunteer opportunities and events, email us at engagement@snug-harbor.org or visit our website or social media pages.
And while we have your attention, we encourage you to consider becoming a member. Individual memberships are $45 and family memberships are $60. Patron memberships are $100. This includes free access to the Chinese Scholars Garden, discounts, and guest passes.
Thank you once again for joining us today. We look forward to hearing from you and having you volunteer here at Snug Harbor. Please reach out to us at engagement@snug-harbor.org and let us know what's happening in your garden. We want to know, what are you planting? Who are you planting with? Where are you planting? And what do you need? Thank you again.